Hello everyone, this is Simple Math for you. Our lesson today is solving absolute value inequalities part 1. أهلا بكم في Simple Math for you ودرسنا اليوم هو حل المتباينات التي تحتوي على القيمة المطلقة الجزء الأول. Let's start solving and checking. As you see here, we have absolute value inequality, includes absolute value and inequality. And the inequality can include less than or equal, or can include more than, or equal. In this case, we will differentiate between less than or more than. We will solve them almost the same way. But you need to know that if the absolute value includes less than or equal, that means it is an and compound inequality. And if the absolute value includes more than or equal, that means it is a compound or inequality. So this is how we will deal with absolute values inequality, absolute value inequalities. Let's start by the first question here. Absolute value of x plus 8 less than 16. So I will solve it using two techniques. Choose the best one you like. هحلها بطريقتين مختلفتين وانت اختار الطريقة اللي تعجبك. So the first one, we know that it's less than, so it is combined with and. So we have two inequalities combined with and. The first one will go the same as the same inequality without absolute value. The second one, it is x plus 8 more than negative 16. So you will switch the inequality and switch the sign of the number here. And solve the inequalities together as we have done before. So x less than 16 minus 8 is 8. And we have here x more than negative 16 minus 8 is negative 24. And we have here and between them. And if you use the number line, this is 8. Sorry, this is the negative 24, open circle. This is 8, also open circle. X less than 8, so it is to the left. X more than 24 is to the right. And the solution will be the region between them, excluding the minus 24 and 8. So it is x more than negative 24 less than 8. This is the solution. I like to use another technique, which is this one. I put the expression between the absolute value sticks, and I will put it between two values. The first one is the negative 16. It's the opposite of the number given here. And the first one is the 16 itself. And I will solve it all together on one line. هحلها مباشرة. So what shall I do? I want x alone. So I will subtract the 8 from all sides at the same time. So I will left with negative 24 and here 8. It's exactly the one that I have here reached using 3 steps. In one step, I'm getting the solution. So this is my solution. Simply, this is how I do it. I like this way, and I will use it in the coming question, but you can use the and to combine them as we have done. ممكن تستخدم and تحل كل متباينة لوحدها وتجمعهم أو تربط بينهم على النمبر line. Let's do it here. So I will copy this side and I will make it greater to the negative 7. Then step 2, adding the 1 because I'm getting rid of everything nearby the variable. This will become 8, sorry, negative 7 plus 1, negative 6. And here 2c and less than or equal to 8. Now I want c alone, so I will divide by 2 both sides. If you feel that you cannot do it, use two inequalities. This is minus 3 and this is 4. So this is the solution. And if you want to represent it on a number line, close circle, and this is the solution. So it's C, such that C is between minus 3 and 4 inclusive. This is the solution in a solution set form. Okay, let's do this one. Now, I can do it with 2 and inequalities and solve it, but do you think I have to do that? هل تعتقد إنه لازم نحلها؟ As you see here, absolute value is less than negative number. Absolute value هي القيمة المطلقة دائما موجبة. It's always positive or zero. صح؟ It's always greater than or equal to zero. So it will never be negative. So the absolute value will never be negative. So when you have absolute value less than negative number without solving, you can say no solution or phi. No need to check and solve and combine inequalities and spending time. 1 second solution. Now there is another inequality including fraction, and I will use the same approach exactly. So you can say if you want 2 inequalities less than 8 and 3h plus 1 over 2 more than negative 8. So اعكس هاي واعكس هاي. الأولى نفسها copy، الثانية reverse both. Yes. So I will solve each one. When you solve, make sure that you don't have denominator. Better to multiply 16 minus 1, 15, divide by 3, so h less than 5. The other one, you multiply by 2, so we have 3h plus 1 more than negative 16, so 3h negative 17, because minus 1 minus 16 minus 17 over 3 over 3, so h is more than negative 17 over 3. So it will be somewhere here, more than, and the other one is 5 and less. 5 is not, it's open circle, and so this is the solution. So the solution is h such that h is more than negative 17 over 3 and less than 5. Perfect. Okay, what about this one? We just said that the absolute value will be always positive, more than or equal to 0. So here, this inequality is divided into 2 parts. Less than 0, we know that there is no value that make this inequality true, but it can equal to 0 when m plus 4 equal to 0. That means m is negative 4. So the only value that makes this inequality true is when m equals to minus 4, because there is no value that makes this inequality true. هذه ما في solution إلها. Less than 0, it will never happen. So we will look for only the value that makes this inequality equals to 0 when m is minus 4. So the solution here is just one number. Okay, with that, we are done with the and inequality. Now let's go to the or inequality when it's greater than. We will do the same thing here. We need to write 2 inequalities combined with or, because of greater than or greater than or equal. And we will do the same thing we have done with the and. 2 inequalities, reverse, the other one, and solving. And this will be minus 9 plus 3 is minus 6. So h less than or equal to minus 3. And they are combined with or. So when you put them on the number line, we have minus 3 and 6, both closed circle, less than or equal to minus 3 over here, more than 6 over there. So we have the solution is h such that h is less than or equal to minus 3 or h more than or equal to 6. Perfect. Let's see here. Absolute value inequality more than negative number, more than negative number. Okay, we know that it will be always more than negative number. So without solving, you can solve and check, but without solving, you are sure that everything, any value of C will give you a value that makes this absolute value true. Absolute value will be always greater than negative number. So this is always true. That means the solution is all real numbers. All real numbers. So this is the solution. Always true because all real numbers can be the solution. Okay, here we can still divide our work into two different inequalities combined with OR. Remember, get rid of this OR. So we have 2p minus 8 more than or equal to 36. So 2p, 36 plus 8 is 44. Divide by 2, so it is 22. Doing the other way, the other one, 2p minus 8, cancelling those, is minus 36, taking the 8, minus 36 plus 8 is 28 negative. And when you divide by 2, so p less than or equal to minus 14. Remember, this is OR. So we have here minus 14 and less. 22 close circle and more. So solution will be variable p such that p is less than or equal to minus 14 or p more than or equal to 22. Here, do we need to solve it? Yes, we don't need to solve it because the absolute value will be always greater than a negative number. So even if you have fraction, no need to work it out. All real numbers. الابسولوت فاليو دائما اكبر من الصفر من او يساوي صفر، فبالتالي اكيد اكبر من نيجاتيف نمبر من عدد سالب. So all real numbers without anything. Remember, if there is additional part, and if you add something first, you need to take it away, isolate the absolute value, then decide. Don't decide before that. يعني لازم اذا في زائد او ناقص او ضرب او قسمه تخلي الابسولوت فاليو لوحده، بعدين تقرر اذا كان all real numbers او you have to solve او you have to initiate the solution combined with OR. With that, we are done with part 1. See you in part 2. Thanks and goodbye.